holistic picture, the loss of GDP is a good way to, I think, incentivize inclusivity. Now, we have lost 0.1% to 1.4% of our GDP as per the 2014 paper. And all of our studies so far are based on the 2011 census, where there were 5 lakh people, 5 lakh transgender people in India. And that number is grossly understated at this point of time. In the 2017 study by NHRC, there were only 6% who were employed in the formal sector, and HIV percentage was 3.8, which was 20 times the national average. I went on a forum online called Transgender India, and it is like a social media platform for transgenders in the country to come together and discuss and try and understand each other and sort of network. And they have multiple opportunities like employment, research, and healthcare, access to surgeons, hormone replacement, etc. And when I went on the website, 2 things that I could understand was, one, transgender questioning is a little sensitive. They tend to take offense to certain things, like the way you refer to them or the way that you categorize them as part of the beggars, like the transgenders in beggary that is represented in the TG ID card. They don't like that, for one thing. And second thing, they are very scared to respond. Unless it is an anonymous response, they are extremely wary of actually putting themselves out there and telling you what their actual issues are.
This emphasizes that if you talk about this Kautilya's Arthashastra, they specify mostly based on the governance part, which was talked about in the past. And if you talk about the third principle, it's about the harmony with the nature. This takes acknowledgement that the human being and the nature should collect each other. There should be a harmony with the coexist between them. So it says about how to encourage the careful use of the land, water, air, which are the God-gifted from us. So you all know that nature is a God-gifted, and so you need to preserve it for the future generation. Next slide, please. Next, if I talk about the Arthashastra, so the previous slide was about the Arthashastra, and next slide about the Earthshastra. See, if I'm talking about the Earthshastra, it specifies about the earth science, how the sustainable development will be helpful for the future generation. Here, if we talk about the 3 approaches, first will be a holistic approach. Holistic approach is nothing but is a balanced approach where if you talk about this sustainable development, how the society, environment are connected to each other and specify from moving from the human-centered view to the well-being of the all living beings, which means that not only the human, you should give priorities for the human welfare, even you need to give welfare for the living beings also, because if you talk about the ecological balance, it's talk about not only the human being, you have plant autonomy, you have the animals, you have the wildlife, sanctuaries, everything which should be made in the balanced way. Second, if you talk about the sustainable practice, the Earthshastra of the sustainable practice are like agriculture, industries, energy, transportation and consumption. It promotes the use of the renewable resources and minimizing the environmental impacts.
And Adam Smith also argued that by performing tasks which we already know, it can lead to more efficiency, which will in turn lead to more productivity. Artificial intelligence-driven automation in agriculture will allow pest detection and irrigation management, and this will be possible by using optimized technology. The second one, moving on to the second one, sustainability and resource conservation. Malthus is well known for his theory about limits on agricultural growth due to population pressure on resources. Artificial intelligence can help reduce wastage and improve resource efficiency.
Matches is at par with private hospitals at an affordable rate or at a minimum medical expense. So this is the feature of non-profit healthcare. And when we talk of healthcare generally in India, India faces 2 major challenges. One is that there is lack of access of healthcare. When we see that metropolitan cities or like developed areas have more access to healthcare and rural areas are just neglected. That's one. And the second one is medical expenditure. There's huge medical expenditure when it comes to healthcare, and that affects the economy in an indirect way.
By their financial dependency on the center. So the Indian fiscal system is such that there is a percentage share allotted to each state, and the state has to abide by and use and utilize only that particular percentage share from the total amount of revenue collected from tax. This hinders progress, and this leads to a lot of mismanagement of resources. It engenders corruption. It prevents the proper utilization of resources, and it takes away the freedom needed for one to accurately approach one's obligations and one's responsibilities.
Data analysis and interpretation, finding and suggestion, contribution and future direction of the study, conclusion. Introduction. What is Primary Agriculture Credit Society? Primary Agriculture Credit Society are the friendly neighborhood banks specifically designed to help farmers. PACs are the cooperative society that provides credit facility and the financial services to the farmers. PACs towards socio-economic development of coffee farmers. It helps in providing the access to financial services, it helps in promoting the financial inclusion, it helps in mitigating risks, it helps in empowering farmers, and it helps in strengthening the rural economy.
So that we need to look into. It's not just to find a catchy title and get information from the lot of information is and make 1 or 2 presentation. So it's, along with that, you need to look into read the previous literature as far as asking that where the theoretical framework, where that particular your research issues come into that there is such a gap, and most importantly the theoretical framework we need to look into. And since as I mentioned, it's the economic research competition. So first you have to highlight what are the research issues, and same research issues you have to bring it to the objective form and link it to a research methodology, and the research methodology, how you quantify, maybe your qualitative data or quantitative data, how you make the analysis systematically and draw the findings and suggestions and conclusions. This is what we generally expect in the research paper. With this suggestion is now, and I congratulate everyone for we thought that it's a research conclave, so our research is to be presented. But I must also say that I think there is also a generational gap that we can see that I think the kind of issues that you are bringing up to the table, at least those issues are a lot more contemporary. It kind of reflects the contemporary realities that we are living in. So in that sense, you bringing in the issues relating to digital kind of systems, issues bringing on sustainability, issues bringing on technology, which plays a role in some kind of affirmative changes, or relating to gender and discrimination that you are talking about. I think these are the contemporary realities which we have realized, and possibly we, when we were earlier days doing research, possibly we are not thinking so much about these things the way that you have been thinking. I think in that sense, it was certainly a gain or knowledge for all of us that
this is a very rare opportunity provided by these great institutions in the state capital of Karnataka, Indus Business Academy. I came this morning. My student, Mr. Ashoka, has been attending the sessions right from yesterday. I am very happy that one of your senior professors, Kulkarni, requested me to chair the panel discussion in this particular hour on econometrics and policy. Both are very contemporarily relevant in these days of globalized world. So in this particular context, I am very happy to be associated with you all and with a great senior professor, S.S. Sobra, to whom I am introduced just now. He is from a long way from Rajasthan.
Really, I am very much thankful to organizers of this conference, particularly Dr. Kulkarni. He continuously in touch to me and insists, please you come in our academy. Definitely, I am very much happy to see you now and to know about your campus placement, lot of things about your academy. So, really, with those things, they prove you have a 25-year journey. This institute you're running since after 25 years. So really a good remarkable long legacy they have about your placement and all things. Yes, I had to connect you. So really I'm very much happy. So let me start, today talk basically that was decided, I think, hardly 10 15 days before once I received Kulkarni's call to you speak, sir. You should ready to speak on this issue. So again, I'm thankful to Sinjaram Bhatt. He is sharing this session, and he also have a rich experience of life. So you are all, I think, a PG student. PG. You are pursuing your PG, and PG in I think MBA courses or like that. So you are all familiar about some tricks or techniques like mathematics, statistics, how you can use some equations, because econometrics is the term, that was coined by, can tell me someone, Wagner Peace. Wagner Peace was the person who coined this term, econometrics.
Right? And that is a key insight of modern economics, which I think is very helpful. The second thing that that is important when you want to understand modern economics is that people are generally purposeful, right? So if they want to get some objective, then they will have a fair handle on the kind of resources they have and the kind of opportunity costs that are involved, and somehow they might have their own biases, they might have their own, they might not have complete information, right? But by and large, they will be purposefully involved. There will be some direction in which if they want to go somewhere, they will by and large be in the right direction, thoughtful. Like when we have to buy a house, we think of whether I should take a loan from the bank, whether I should get money from somewhere else, what if I buy this house here, is it close to a school? We think of all those things, right? We don't always do that perfectly. But by and large, some individuals might be completely irrational, but by and large, people are rational.
Orthodox, and that's what is dominating the kind of thinking process that matters sometimes, right? But I think there is something much more than kind of getting into the distinction between heterodox and orthodox. I think one very critical point, and some of which the foundation actually has laid so well. One of the critical points is the value. So I think economists have that curiosity. A lot of other social scientists also have that kind of curiosity to understand what is the value that is there. And value sometimes it can be inherent value, how much value that apple would have or the orange would have, or these values can also be very relative values, right? How much I perceive that apple is very important for me, vis-a-vis how somebody else perceives that apple is how important for that person, right? So this value is a very interesting thing, and it's not so easy to identify, right? It is almost like electricity current kahan se aati hai pata nahi chalti. So how to figure that out value? I think that is where when the economists started engaging it on this particular topic, I think different views emerged at different points of time.
Both of them were talking really core of things which should shake you from inside. But then I found that things are really not shaking. So let me begin with the sanity, that's some PPT, but then after giving him the PPT, I decided no, I'll talk. I'll talk because my voice is quite loud and sound, though my legs are fragile. Right? I entered the class of economics, I told you, And first thing my teacher was telling, law of demand. I was from a different discipline. I told you I am indisciplined. I was from a different discipline, sitting down and drawing something or nail drawings. Then suddenly it came to my mind, what is this law? Is it applicable everywhere? First thing I found that he drew wrong figure. In the sense, he drew price on the y-axis and quantity on the x-axis. Quantity is decided by price. Then how can it be? And he says y is function of x. This is wrong. This is wrong. Because in geometry, we have y on the vertical axis and x on the horizontal axis.
I am privileged to be the chairperson of the school. So let me tell you a little story, sir, to be of interest to you. साल में 2 बार हम लोग board meeting करते हैं जैसे यहाँ करते हैं. So there's a lady there who मुझको चाय बना के लाती. She's very good in making chai. One day at a board meeting, I found her looking a little distressed and there were marks on her face. So as we say in Rajasthan, I said, "Bhai sahab, क्या हुआ?" She said, "चोट लग गई." It's not. ये चोट के बाद क्या हुआ? She says, "My husband asked for money to buy whiskey or alcohol. I didn't give it, so he beat me up." I said, "Did you beat him up?" She said, "No, I'm uneducated." बेटा ये आप सबके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है, मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ? I'm dependent on it. Then my wife and I decided we would gift 10 knitting machines, not sewing machines. Knitting machines, they formed a self-help group. The group expanded to 50, they took loans from banks. Now they make scarves, they make gloves, they make caps, they make sweaters, they make socks. They sell on Amazon. And each one of those 50 women on average earns 30,000 rupees a month. I haven't changed Jodhpur, I haven't changed Rajasthan, I haven't changed India, but I have touched 50 lives, 50 families. And then I asked her, I said, Baisa, her full name is Baisa Savitri. I said, Baisa Savitri, Baisa is term of respect. I said, Baisa Savitri, मारता है पति आपको? अरे सर, अब तो हम ठोकते हैं उनको.
This is what we have discussed, and the great Dr. Partha Ghosh School of Leadership, which is in IBA Kharagpur, we are planning to set up a center here, which will also take care of doing leadership program for students, and we will highly benefit from that. And Dr. Partha Ghosh is, the Partha Ghosh, who is world famed, Dr. Partha Ghosh. There's nothing more I can say, and on 9th of January he is here with us, and he will be spending time with us. Welcome. The third thing what Sir just said, that Shiv Strotam. Strangely, I don't know how many of you have gone to Dubai in past 2 years, and I also don't know how many of you have gone to any pub there. But if you go to any pub there, out of every 5 songs, now 3 songs are Bollywood songs, and after every 5th song, they play Shiv Strotam. Everyone dances on that. This is what is the change which is happening and how people are recognizing India. So this is the reality, and let's all accept that this is happening and people are accepting Indians everywhere. Thank you so much for organizing such a wonderful conference. I am very grateful to all of you that you have spent day and night making this successful. Thank you so much.